Okay, so we've created a basic content template, and what you can see here, we've got our meta title, find a lawyer city, get an attorney, legal help listing, find lawyers, and here's our components we've mapped out so far that we think we should build into our template with our H tags, and each section has a purpose. Okay, so this is what we call a content template. Now, as we go down to our DNA, we start editing out what we want. We start tokenizing, and we can also start nesting in certain types of spin tags that are relevant. Now, these is what we can take and we can stick them into the X fields as we create these little global parameters that we can utilize within the starting point, this framework of this template. Now, remember, like I said to you, we can build many websites. That's why I say don't go specific. Utilize the core language, build for national, and then when you export out and you get actually to the actual page, then you start doing the fine tuning. But if you look at this template, we've got the core words, core questions, the core structure of how we want the content to flow. Now we just got to go use things like Page Rewriter, Magic Page shortcodes, and our creativity to go and build a great page that can actually give the guys the results that they want. Because remember, if you build a website, you may as well build it like an app where there's functionality built into it that can connect people. And that's where Lead Simplify comes in, and it makes it nice and easy for us to help people connect with lawyers in particular types of industries. All right, so let's jump across to the export process. So can you see, like within an hour or 2 hours, I've mapped out this market for legal. I've discovered 98 segments that this market split into. I've drilled into only 2 or 3 of the core ideas so far just to get a feel for it, where we looked at bankruptcy, drunk driving, injuries, how to find a lawyer, law services, and then we're going to go and export this all out now into WordPress, and I'll do this by number 8 at the end of the production line. So if you can see here, we started with the blueprint, we added a domain, we did keyword research on some topics that we found over here. We mapped out the outline of the website, we removed duplication, removed any localization, and we highlighted the key topics that people talk about in the market. We then came and decided, cool, we're going to build like a directory type of website, and in the content architecture, we've done our first version of our content template. So we save this, and we don't put our full article in here because over time, depending on how we're going to use this market, we're going to come back and refine this template and adjust it. Okay, so we then went and customized the DNA that we liked. We can add more to this, but you saw how quickly I just went through and cleaned it up. Now I'm going to go across and build out the website. So I'm going to click Export, Export Manager. I'm going to generate the XML, and I'm going to save this by right-clicking, Save. Okay, I paused the video while I saved there. So I've saved this and just called this my legal export. And I'm going to hop across to, WordPress. For now, we'll leave the structure as Find Lawyer. And if we can look at the pages, you'll see that there's no pages yet, excepting the home page for the video silo builder. There's the home page. We'll work on that last. And then we have no posts. If there are, this is a blank blog and there's no categories. Okay, so I'm going to come to the video silo, and at the moment we're on the settings page, and notice you can use shortcodes here as well as nested spin tags. Okay, the two are compatible with Magic Page, so you need not worry about it, but go to Magic Page and turn on the spin tags in the Magic Page settings, which is found here. So under settings, enable spin tags over here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the video silo and I'm going to the silo importer. I'm going to set everything to draft mode. I'm going to leave the shortcode on because I want to have the shortcode in this page for my internal linking. And I want to also have none of those selected. I'm going to turn off the videos browse to the file. As you can see here, this is the legal export that we just built in DMT, and I'm going to leave the settings as they are, and I'm going to click import. Now what's going to happen is in the background it's going to use the WP cron to go and build your pages. So it'll build a series of pages if your blueprint's big, and it'll stop. It'll wait 10 minutes, build some more, wait 10 minutes, build some more. I'll leave everything in draft mode, and if we come and look at this in a few minutes, you'll start seeing the pages getting mapped out of this website that we just designed in DMT. So there's the home. I'm going to wait literally a minute or two, and then our pages will start getting built. We've got a plugin that we use when I check things called cron events. You can get that through the plugin, but here you can see we've imported the file. It's going to wait and run, and it's the vsilo import that will be running as we go along. So if I come back now, that should have run by now. If not, wait a bit longer. There we go. So there's law service, and that's creating all the pages. If we come over to the categories, the video silo is building out all the categories as well. So there you can see legal shield. There's everything that's getting mapped out. So it's up to us to just delete what we don't want to use in this build. And there's our find a lawyer. If I do a quick edit over here, you can see the and our magic page is a totally different page. So we'll come back and look at this page shortly. I'll close down that cron. And if we go look at the pages again, we're ready to start working on our website. All right. So if we come down to find a lawyer and I click preview, you'll start seeing that the magic page stuff is not showing up here, but there's our content template that we've created. All right. Find a lawyer, city, get an attorney help, legal help listings. All right. So there's our post title. And what I'm going to do now is come back to the page. I'm going to click edit. And I'm going to come into here and go into the text. I'm going to copy all this text out, and I'm going to copy and paste it into my magic page template. So I clicked edit as HTML, and there's my content template that I've taken. So Control C. What I'm going to do now is quickly jump back out of here and leave that page. Go to my magic page, magic pages, also add new, and I'm going to call this one, drop that in there. There's my shortcodes that I've got put in by the video silo plugin, and we'll take that and we'll actually stick it in just over here before the navigation. We'll actually come down here, desire. What do you desire? Here's your choices. So we'll leave 10 links coming in for now, and we'll start playing with that. So I need to do the headline, and I quickly fix up the spacing here. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, we've got that all there. We need to give this page a name. And I'll come across to DMT, content editor, silos, and my page. I'm going to click on that page, and that's my page title I want. So I'm going to come in here, stick it in there. I'm going to edit this, find a lawyer, We need to change this. Okay, I'm going to cancel this for a minute. I'm going to wait, let's do this edit. Job done there. Silo, category, and location. Okay, so what I've done is I've just saved it as a draft. I put the city in, find a lawyer, help, legal help. Okay, now I'm just going back here to my locations, and we've not set up the locations yet, so I need to add the US database. So what I'll do is, let me quickly set that up. We go to our magic page. There's one there. We're going to come into our settings. We're going to come to our databases. So let's go to our magic page databases. And then we'll select database for the United States. So there's US. All right, so what I'm going to do now is install the databases that I need. And one thing I want to make you guys aware of, with a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility, and you've got access to 51 regions across USA. Actually got a database that can run across the whole world. If you're going to install everything, you're going to put more rows of data into the database. This is thus going to put more stress on the server when the server has to go and actually run through that huge list to find what you're looking for. And the impact of that's going to have a slower response rate, which makes your page respond slower. So, like many guys have used Magic Page before, and Mike and Keith and that, say install what you need, and I agree with them. The less rows in your database, the better. If you've got specific targets that you want, go for them. So for this exercise, I'm going to just go choose maybe 4 areas. And please note that when you're installing big areas, there's many rows that get installed. So once you cherry picked your areas, go make a pot of coffee, cup of tea, glass of water, whatever makes you happy. Go get hydrated, and by the time you come back, it should be all installed. So what I did is I went to the web, did a population search, and I noted that California, Texas, what's that? Florida, and New York. I'm going to just take those 4. That gives us, and maybe someone up here who's at Washington. Okay, we'll take those guys there. Let's just do, I install those 4 databases, gives us the biggest populations, and then we can actually go and play with Magic Page and start seeing how our template that we created over here, how it's starting to come together. Okay, so you can see we start mapping things out. All right, I'll see you guys as soon as I pick my databases. So we're going to go for California. Click on that one. Texas. Should be down here. Okay, so they're busy running, the others on a queue. I'll stop this video over here because obviously you don't want to sit and watch this installing. Once it's done, we'll just jump straight back into our template, and then we can start optimizing our content using Page Rewriter and building out and answering the questions. So obviously we've dragged these questions across. We can come into the FAQ builder and we can actually go and build that, stick that code back into the page. And when we come back to our Magic template, section by section, we can either customize and build our own frame, or we can use the templates that comes with Magic Page or an Elementor you can actually go and actually use one of their templates if you've got the pro version. So in the next workshop or next section, I'm going to come back. I'm going to start refining what we've pulled out of DMT and seeing how it renders out as we work on this template. All right, guys. So we've installed California, Washington, Florida, and New York in Texas. That's them there. And if you want to change the database, you can delete them all over here. The more you install, the longer it takes to install, the longer it takes to uninstall. It's better just to start small and explode as you start working on your template and making it better. All right, so in our settings, we started off with help, then we went to find lawyer, and we started with attorney. So I'm just going to stick with find lawyer, but typically what you can do in Digital Marketer's Toolbox is you can go to your theme keywords and you can see which one's got the highest search volume. So I've come to DMT. We've drawn to one company there to see how they've worked in their business. We can see that there is a ton of traffic that's running through that market every single month. And now we're going to go mining and find a niche where we can service our clients if we're doing legal clients or if we want to build a directory or whatever. What's cool about DMT is it helps us really zone in and see how people are transacting online in how their models work. That's what it boils down to. But coming back to Magic Page, find lawyer, just to verify how we go about choosing things. We can either come look down at the intent. People want to find stuff. They want to know how to do stuff. They're looking for the best. You could have best in there. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. I want to focus more on the actual entity, and that's the lawyer or the attorney. And what I'll do is we can come over to our global reports, and we can look at the domain keywords, or we can look at all the theme keywords we drilled into, or we can come down to our keyword research, do keyword research, and we can look at the theme clusters. Now, for the guys who don't know what a theme cluster is, a cluster is a grouping, and what we're doing is we're looking at how keywords are grouped together, how they're relevant. And you'll see once this page loads, we have filters. So if we've got find a lawyer, find an attorney. So there we can see that there's a high relevance between those two. Here's our highly related terms. So if I want to see all the lawyer words, I can now zoom in and out. I can see where the money flows. I can see where the traffic flows. So you have got different variants. So typically in your URLs, you want to have the shorter ones. Lawyer search could be a great niche. High cost per click. The competition's low. Someone's missed that one there. So that could essentially become find a lawyer or lawyer search. DMT allows us to come into the market utilizing these unique functionalities of data mining to our advantage. I can come in here and say lawyer, $200K nationally. I could niche, go into the bankruptcy market. DUI, we can see different searches near me. You can even make that, if you're doing the DUI type of niche, you can go do that. So what's great about this is with Magic Page, we can target the market either with one big website with multiple silos. However, you can only use one Magic Page silo per site. Or you can build multiple websites, and on each of those, you can speak to each market segment specifically and connect them with the right people in the specific market. So you could go DUI, you could have a site on bankruptcy, you could have a site on whatever. So the reason why I build my sites the way I do on the dev database is once I get the model built correct, once I've built it for a national perspective, once I've got all the components inside working and the areas are mapped out that I want to target, then I can clone this and deploy it multiple places. And all I've got to do is add shortcodes introducing the market segment I'm after. And this is why we built Digital Marketers Toolbox, so that we can actually use these tools very effectively. And for guys to do this normally, good luck. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. All right, so let's go look at our site. So we've installed these databases. Here's our template, and I want to just go and have a look at it. So I'm going to refresh this page. And for the guys using Page Rewriter, yeah, we've got our code. Okay, we can open this and place it anywhere. But this is our master template. And all we're doing is we keep on tweaking this and filling it out. All right. So I like to do a lot of my spin tags type of stuff by myself. Other guys prefer just to use spin. It is all dependent on how far out you are on your web ring. Most people just build a single website. When we build our sites, we think in networks and we think in clusters of sites, and we approach the market in multiple ways, because every page that you rank potentially is for information. Some other words you use, that audience likes video. Some other people are looking for information. So you're placing all the PDFs and the PowerPoint presentations in right places. And this is what we build with our stackable system. We create master templates, and then we go and market. We go to the market where the market is, and we present our information to them. So we're not just randomly creating pages and throwing stuff out. We're strategically targeting specific people in specific places, utilizing media as the transport mechanism to get our message across. Now, do you have to recreate the wheel 100 times? No, you just have to take the wheel and stick it on a new vehicle. It's as simple as that. DMT, data mine, create a master blueprint, deploy multiple websites. We use Magic Page as a component to help us stay focused on who we're talking to. And that's what's great about the single silo model of Magic Page, because it forces you to be focused on who you're talking to. Then the additional content that we have, let me just bring us back up here. Where's that image? Make it easier to see. There we go. Geographical relevance, topical, contextual, thematic relevance. All your information pages that you want to rank, or your geographical targets that you're zoning in on, with your billboard that basically runs through the persuasion stack, introduces the service providers, introduces the different types of products that are related to that market, introduces places of interest of where they can find what they're looking for, and then related services. So you have many options to build really great content templates, but without structure, it becomes very difficult. So this is why we go about doing what we do with DMT, how we consistently refine and how we consistently run through a stackable system. 12 steps that run us through a series of questions from left to right on how to think about building our campaigns, our online business, and how to really zone in to a place where we just focus on conversion rate optimization again. So look at Magic Page. What are we focusing on? Conversion rate optimization. A single page that we're going to transfer into a tower. So many guys come to build websites. They think about the look and feel and all that kind of stuff. We're building our websites in structure. We're essentially coming with DMT. We're running through our production line. As we add domains, we can see how they work, where they make their money, what pages they use to make their money. We can understand how the market is presented that information. And on keyword research, we can dig into topics, find out who dominates those topics and how they dominate that. From that, in our website architecture, we can choose what topics are important at that point in time. We can create the content that's specifically relevant to that audience. We deploy it. And that's how we use DMT. So if I come in here, I'm going to say, show me all the keywords that have attorney in it, just to bring us back on topic again, that have more than 1,000 searches a month and 100. And all I'm doing is I'm looking at the variants. Find a lawyer, find an attorney. Find a lawyer, how to find a lawyer, how to find an attorney, injury. So now we start looking at things that we can put into shortcodes, all the different service types. So depending on what market we go into, are we talking to people who have lost their businesses? during the whole COVID situation, this is a very active market. After the COVID situation, this becomes a very active market. It's all a circle, a perpetual loop. People that are starting business, these are all the things that they might work in. And so it goes down. All right. So what I've shown you guys today is super powerful. With DMT, we can really zoom in and find how the market speaks. Look at that market, how much money that market's worth a month, $1 million. That's what that keyword is worth. And that's what people are prepared to pay, $73 a click. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to jump back to our content architecture. What's cool about DMT is we can go up and down. It doesn't matter what we're working over here on a website and page rewriter, and I'm just running around up and down, and I'm gathering ideas as I'm working on my templates. So to refocus again, I'm coming back to my silo. I work in Find a Lawyer. We know that there's a lot of organic listings. We know what people are asking, and we know that there's a local pack. You can see the questions. We can choose through them, and we can see the headlines. To make this list short, I typically like to have it at show me the top 5 keywords. That's nice for spin tags. And you'll notice here, as I'm working, wherever I make updates, I make my updates over here, and then I go back to my tool and I stick them in. Okay, when I create content, I take this template from DMT over here, the master template, and I start expanding on it. And then from that, we go into our page over here. Go into text, we paste it, and what you'll notice is, yeah, we started to play around with the 2 words that we just covered, attorney, lawyer. These are the 2 words, how to find. If I go back to DMT, you can see I've introduced those ideas using spin tags into my H1 tag. So to see if this works, I'll click update, and now we can add our locations. I recommend using the auto installation layer. Once you've got your site built, don't go deploy 100,000 pages. Just turn auto install on and let that run for 30 days, where it drops a page, it drops a page, it drops a page, it drops a page. What that's going to do is every time the bot comes back, it finds more stuff. And as you're working on your silos, silo by silo, deploying them, you're adding new content, new funnels, and you just deploy your site as you're going along, focusing on the theme, the topic at hand. That's why on Magic Page, we're not talking about the rest of the site. Even though the imports brought all these pages out, they're all in draft mode. They can sit there. We can even go have other guys writing content, outsource them, and people can go write topics. They can focus on that and go write the topics. Because by the time you come out of DMT, you've decided how the template must look. And this is where you spend your time. You pass the site on, you pass that information on. Your team that's running for you can even do all the spinning. You don't have to do it. You just have to tell them these are the important words that we're going to use for this campaign, and they're going to get deployed in these places. Because remember, this here can become a script. A person can read this by the time you're finished and navigate and show someone how to find a lawyer. These are the things they should consider. These are the questions they should ask, and blah, 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 blah. How are we going to find that? By doing our content development. So to wrap this little workshop up, what you saw us do was we ran through DMT, we created a content template, came to Magic Page, we installed our locations that we're targeting. We never installed all, we chose specifics. And now we've pasted our template in. We've got a starting point. We paste our template into page rewriter using the HTML side. Then we come back to WYSIWYG, so we don't lose our formatting. And now, as we're going along, we can start changing these questions that we're asking over here, and we can start actually answering them over here. Just keep on clicking save, so whatever I do, I don't lose. Do I have to go and take all this information and paste it back in DMT? That's totally up to you. I don't. I've got my key starting point. This is the core. This is the power core of the actual website. These are the key topics, key questions, keywords used. Notice keywords used. These keywords define an item, an entity, a location, And those words that we put into the page are specifically put there to service the needs of the person reading the page. Remember, we have to solve their problem. We have to get them to an end result. We have to create a transaction. There must become an event must happen when they land on that page. They read the information, great. They've got their answer. They buy something, or they move on further down the chain. All right. So with DMT, it's cool. You can build anything, and with Magic Page, you can really market very, very efficiently if you just slow down and realize with Magic Page that 80% of the work is done. You have to take your time and slow down and speak to your audience and create the template for them. So let's go look a little bit more at this. And in the next section, we're going to focus totally on the Magic Page template and localizations, the database presentation, and then creating the frame. So from DMT, we've got most of the information now already. We can review a blueprint to get more ideas. So we can click on that button. And this opens up the entire stack of pages. So every single one of these pages that we're seeing over here, we scroll down page by page, we can go find anything. So if I want to see keywords surrounding attorney, I can go Control F. And I can see all attorney-based keywords. And I can move down the side here and see everything that's related to simply using the find. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Alternatively, you can look at the domain keywords, the theme keywords. We can look at all the competitors, organic and paid. These are the guys that are paying. And any information we want, we can take from this and we can stick it into our page. If we look at all the organic listings, we can go look at bankruptcy. If we're talking about bankruptcy, if we look at DUI, if we want to look at, let's just look at injury attorney. I'm going to click on that. There's all the keywords for injury attorney. Can I take those top 8 lists there and create content? Yes, I can. Okay. Local packs, these are the guys that are doing things. We can see their headlines, hire, how to find. And now we can start taking these and slowing down and really looking at what's working in the top 5 positions and embedding those into our stackable system where 1, attention, we grab the attention. 2, we provide them a way to get to the solution because we've got their attention. Hey, you need a lawyer? Do this and this will help you. They do that action or they choose where they want to go. So we can start putting shortcodes in here. And what I've done is at the bottom, I've just dropped all the shortcodes in to the template so I can see the output. And as I'm flipping through different locales, which I'm going to show you how we do now in the next section, we can see how these turn on and off. Just click update. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay guys, so in these 2 hours that we've worked together in this workshop, I've essentially jumped into a market I know nothing much about. I've started extrapolating what I want to target, and I've come across the Magic Page to kick off the first silo for the website in this build. And we went and discovered our headlines. We figured out how we're going to try and get the guys into the funnel, and we discovered the intent. Now I need to add the locations that I'm going to target. So if you forgot what your locations were, you can click on that link there, locations, and I'll show you what's installed. You'll see a huge list of towns and cities. So we have got a database which potentially, if we published everything, had 32,000 pages. All right. So this is how big it grows, just to give you some context of what's going on over here. All right. So if we go search an area, let's just say we search New York. I shouldn't have clicked that button. Just stop that. Okay. We've got all these areas over here. Okay, New York, New York. There's all the New York cities. So that one, we can just blow that one away. And if I go edit this, we now got access to all the metadata. And this is where the shortcodes come from. Okay, so everything here is that we can add new custom fields to this. And those custom fields will become metadata as well that you can call through the shortcode. So to add a new custom field, click on that. Let's just say whatever you want to call it. This is a point of interest. Add that, confirm. There's my shortcode. I can enable the editor, and I can drop in a little block of information that can now get embedded into our magic page. Okay, so we could essentially come in here and stick that in over there. Now click update. The next thing we need to do is we need to add locations. If we don't add locations and you try and view your templates, you're going to get redirected potentially by WordPress, depending on how it's set up. So over here, we've got no locations. And if I go view this page, you get thrown back. There's nothing there. If you're outside of the database areas that you've added, then what's going to happen as well, you potentially won't see all the templates. And in this exercise, we'll play with a VPN to shift us from where we are to the country that we want to work in when we're doing this. So on Kapasky, we got multiple different VPNs we can connect into. All right, so let me go and add these databases. So I'll start off with California. Let's see what we get. There's the city, the pines, the valley. Start with New York. And we'll start with Washington was one of the ones. And we'll start off. Now notice each pin that we're adding, even that's delete, think of it as a pin, we're in the center of the city. So anyone that's within a radius of that distance will get shown whatever's inside that zone. Okay, so these little zones. So was Texas, was the other one? Let's see what comes back. Okay, and it was Florida. So then we've got 32 locations. So if we click on this, we can choose option 1. Basically, what option 1 will do is all the locations that we have installed will get taken off, and then the page will become false. Or we can keep all the options and add. So this run is option 2 if you want to do the auto increment one. But for now, we're just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to turn it off. There's 32K pages available just for this exercise. So let's just do an update. And we'll do a test. I've got no VPN on, so I'm outside of the US. And I'm going to go to my magic page. Actually, I can close it down. Don't need to open. And review. Okay, so California City is coming up. There we start seeing all our shortcodes and the towns. Questions. And here we can start seeing all our shortcodes and what they actually present. All right, so that's working quite nicely. Then we can see other shortcodes. And now you can start taking these and actually building them into your content template. Because remember, we're still in text mode. We've not done anything yet. We've not used Elementor. We've not applied a template to the page. And this, once we get everything working nicely, we have all our elements in place, we can start deleting the things that aren't relevant. We can start answering a question, installing our schema, and then making a great page. And that's basically it. So what I'll do at this stage is while I'm over here, I constantly work and refine these templates. I add the page elements. I start mining in let's just do this one. How to find a lawyer. We've drilled that question over here. That's for a will. So I'm just going to come here to the answer. I'm going to come to a paragraph. How to find a lawyer. And I'll click on this little blurb. Control X. Control V. Take this answer. And then we've got it there. Now we can take this here and come to the FAQ builder. Go fetch questions. Copy those there. Give you the text. Give you the schema. There's the last schema, so we can copy that. And we can come in, embed it underneath the question we have over there. So can you see how we can very quickly map this out, get it wrapped with schema, and build out a great page. So I'm going to press pause. I'm going to map out this page. I take the text and I build this out. I then inject it into my page over here. I then come to Digital Marketer's Toolbox. And I spend time choosing the best keywords that I want over here. I start looking at these words. And in the blueprint, I spend time looking at... Oh, well, how if I log in? Let me just pause a minute. Resume. Okay. So I'm on organic. I can click on any of these keywords that we mined when we auto-gened the silo for finding a lawyer. And now we can start taking lawyers near me. We can zoom into lawyers near me, for example. And we can integrate these concepts. Best affordable into our magic page template. We can work on our call to actions over here, put the right shortcodes in now that we can see how they deploy out. We can turn the volume up or down and so forth. Okay, here we've got our video silo plugin shortcode. We find these on the settings page and you get different variants. You can put a cache, but this particular one is going to drop links. So if we go look at section number 3, obviously we've got no page which is published yet from the silos we imported, so we won't see them, but they'll actually pop up a little menu over here. All right, so in each section, when we go to Elementor now, once we map out everything in text without adding any more elements to the page, I get the template working, so if there was no CSS style sheet and there's nothing and it rendered out, we can see what we're dealing with. So let's take this. Actually, I'll just do it right here. And if we come to, SEO Quake, and I can look at my density, for example. And once we get it done, we'll see what we've got over here. So obviously it's not shown yet. There we go. So if we look at 2-word phrases, that's a bit weird how to read that. Obviously, let me do it again. It's because I'm logged in. That's why we're getting all the extra stuff. Okay. So I'm going to log out. We can look at this page later on. But let me flesh this page out, get the elements in. We're then going to run through this quick build. This should take me literally 10 minutes per drill. I'm going to drill this. I'm going to do my FAQ, fill that in. I'm going to create a lead simplify form, or I might just use a normal one, depending. It's whatever you want. You don't know, you can use whatever. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag in the list and build this little block out over here. And then we can see how this template goes out. But before I do that, I'm going to come to USA and do a quick VPN test and see how the page responds. So at the moment, we're not connected. So I'm going to click on the USA and I'm going to connect that. Let's refresh. Let's see if these change. Okay, there's California. Central. It's connecting. So I'm going to turn SEO Quake off. So there's the IP address there. Let's refresh. So California, Palmdale, Lakeview. And if we're smart, we'll start embedding our California media, things about the area, where's the offices, and so forth. What is that there? Okay, so there we are. Let's go to a different location. I like doing this type of stuff so I can just see how the template renders out in other places. If we go to the East Coast, we should get stuff near the East Coast. So what's my IP? Let's refresh. 128.50. .14286. Let's see what happens. Refreshing the page. So it seems to stick with California. Free lawyer listings, Lakeview, visit. Any cases, I'll do one more test on the other side. Let's go East Coast, let's go West Coast. But the point is we can use these elements to our advantage in our content template, and that we can see them rendering out. So I'm going to come in here, do a quick lawyer search here. Okay, so it's just showing us the local place. If folk were in America, nearer to towns, we'll get different variants changing depending on where they're from. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now in Page Rewriter. I'm going to quickly board out these 5 questions, get this block built for our desire. It's how to essentially get a lawyer to help them. I'm going to change those questions potentially. And then I'm going to stick them in my template. Come over here. We'll have those in. And then let's actually just take this here. And we'll run and test it before we go forward. Let's go to schema. And we'll run this page. So once you've got your template all mapped out and all the key things in place and your code in place, you've gone to the schema generator, tested it, fixed any errors, there's your basic outline that you've got done in WordPress. What you can now do is you can come across to Elementor and start editing this actual page. To make that happen, you have to go into Elementor, you have to go into the settings, and you just got to make sure that you've got the post type, magic page selected, so that you can actually go and edit those pages. So I'm going to click OK. And if we go back to my magic page, edit that, I can now start working on the look and feel of the actual website template. Okay, so then we can take this. So I click Edit with Elementor. We switch over. And this is where you can start determining the look and feel of this actual website. So there's all our content that we've brought across from Digital Marketers Toolbox. When we imported it, we've gone to page rewriter. We started creating content. I haven't done that yet. And more importantly, we can start seeing how elements are rendering out, which we will now incorporate into our template. So I can come in here and go add a section, or I can come in here and click plus. We can add blocks, or we can add page templates. So I can go law, and I can use this look and feel. I can also come out and I go to Magic Page Templates. And you can essentially use this divorce attorney template. So we can just have a preview here quick and see what it looks like. But we're not essentially working for a specific company, and I'm going to assume that this template will be for a particular single company type of build. So if you are doing company work and there's people and customers and faces, you can use these. So for now, I'm just going to use Elementor. I'm going to make this like a search directory where we'll have a top nav, we'll have a few bits and bobs, and that actually looks quite nice. But we're not doing that. But that's a later concern. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my page. And I'm going to start dropping the elements into the actual page at the right places. So we can see the forms, we can see the search buttons, and I'm going to use Elementor to drop those in for us. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm going to start working the look and feel of the site. I want to cut this video short. I know you guys have got a lot to do, so I want to get stuck right in and get this done. We've got two ways of doing this. We can either, as you can see here, we have our core things mapped out in that one section. We can come in and start creating new sections. So we've got 5 sections. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We add them, and we can move those blocks into each section. Alternatively, as stated before, we can add templates for the specific page, or we can go to Magic Page and we can use their templates over here. Okay, so for now I'm just going to go into templates, kit library for Elementor. I'm just going to go to my business service for now, and I'm going to use the law firm. That's the one that we saw. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say apply kit. From this kit, I'm going to, that's fine, we just throw that in there for now. Delete all the things I don't want when I actually look at it. And we'll turn this company website into a service-based directory website that gives people access to lawyers. Now, how do we find the lawyers? There's many ways we can do this, but I won't discuss that right now. Okay, so you can see we installed it. We've got a header, a footer, a pop-up, archives, 2 single pages. There are schemes, buttons, everything is done. Go back to dashboard. And now I'm going to click edit with Elementor. Let's see what's happened. And premium advertising space, social accounts if we create any for this website. If people want to join and add their directory using lead simplifier, our homepage, obviously the logo, we'll make that whatever. And there's our content template, all prepped and ready. Okay, so we can delete things that we don't need. Quick contact, we'll keep that. Legit. We can change all these. So there we go. That's pretty nice. All right. So let's go have a look at this website and go refresh. And yeah, we can see our site. Now we're just going to get this section mapped out properly so it's nicely on the template. and I'll proceed to go get that done, and then we'll add our elements to the page that makes things nice for these guys to work with. Right, so to start wrapping this up, what we've done literally in these 2 hours is we've shown you how we've used Digital Marketers Toolbox to unlock the market, to find the love language of the market, to understand who's got the biggest footprint, i.e. who dominates the market, who controls the traffic, who's potentially making the most money. We took this information from domains and from keywords that we investigated that created themes for us, keyword themes or topical themes. And then what we did was we moved through the production line of Digital Marketers Toolbox. We drilled into our keywords. Okay. We added a domain. In this instance, we added findlaw.com. These guys dominate the market space. How do I know this? When I clicked on my website, I noted that these guys had the biggest slice of the pie. And over here, we can see for those 1,000 keywords, that's how much total search market value they have. So am I going to pay attention to what they're doing? And am I going to use what they've learned to my advantage? Yes. So I've added that. So we came down after we had done our keyword research, we added some competitors. I never do more than 2 or 3. You don't have to. Once you understand who dominates the market, you just have to figure out what they're dominating. And this is how you unlock all the missed opportunities. So I came down to website silo architecture, number 6. We clicked on create website framework. That mapped out some website structure for us, where the traffic flows. We customized and added more keywords. And then we came to content architecture. At that time already, we decided that Find a Lawyer would be our silo. If I click on the categories, we can look at the entire structure. So we've got a bankruptcy silo that started, a DUI lawyer that started, we've got a Find a Lawyer that started, injury lawyer, law services. These are the silos we're playing around with at the moment. Find a Lawyer is going to be our magic page, which is a virtual silo. And because we can't create pages underneath this, what we'll essentially do is we'll take this stack of pages and we'll start integrating this into our content page template. So obviously we're going to start with Find a Lawyer. Then we'll start introducing things like near me, offices, firms, attorneys, law attorneys, good, best, all those type of words into our blueprint. To dig deeper into those blueprints, what I'll do is I'm going to quickly click on Find a Lawyer. And in this process, obviously I've been working on and off and recording and going and doing a few drills to save time. And as I've done this, I've exploded out a list of keywords. So I'll show you what I've done here. I use this tool called KeywordPad. It's a tool that's been around for probably 10 years. It's a great tool. When I started the research, I discovered that these words, there's 96 of them, that dominate the market. Okay, these are the market segments of law. I took those and I threw them into a keyword tool. Obviously, I opened it up wrong. I'll just cancel that for now. We'll leave that alone because it doesn't matter. I've taken these words and I started adding my modifiers. So that service type plus lawyer plus attorney plus solicitor, and then things that are it stops at D. I then took this and I integrated it and I dropped it into my content template. So whenever I go work on a project, now I can start seeing all the different types. And when we've finished here, we've got potentially a list of 300 or 400 ways of approaching all these markets, from the person who's going to do the job versus the person who does the service type. So in this case, what estate planning, employment, criminal defense, consumer protection, and so forth. All right. So those things can now start getting integrated into my magic page. Now, what's great about magic page is, one, we can use Elementor. It's built in and works with that. 2, we can grab any cities and add as we go. Like I said before, use the auto installation and don't go for 35,000 pages at once. There's no point. So let's just say I'm building this website, and this website's going to be a DUI website. How do I find the targets? So what we'll do here is we're just going to come in here and say list of DUI services, list of DUI arrests in USA or whatever country you're looking at. And do we see anything? No. Okay, there we go. Cities with the most drunk driving arrests in the United States. So over here we can start seeing immediately Las Vegas, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Denver. Can you see our targets? Start with these hot points. Philadelphia, start there. Indianapolis, start there. Oakland City, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, Phoenix. All those cities, you can take them now and just add them into this list over here. And you just drop it down to start off with a radius of 50. Remember, when you launch these websites, you want to launch them small. And over time, you want to expand the range. Not go big and come back in. So let's just say those were our targets. Now we've got 17,000. It's going down more. Okay, 2,500 pages. Next job we have to do is for these 2,500 pages, we need to start creating content templates that speak to specific people in specific areas. That's the key thing that you need to keep in mind. If you just do a basic template, what's going to happen is a lot of your pages will get filtered by the search algorithms, and a percentage of that will not show up in the index. They'll appear and then they'll disappear. Okay. So what's great about this whole thing is the ability to use shortcodes. Now notice over here at the top here, I've got lawyer in location, get attorney in location, legal help, listing directory. There's nothing stopping us taking these shortcodes and building them into our template. The way we do this is through magic shortcodes on the left here. We can get access to all the types that we want. We can copy and paste them. But what I want to speak to you guys about briefly is using your spin tags. So if I click edit on the spin tags, you can see I've added the variants that we found in DMT. Brand names, things that are going to be global in your site, you can use your X fields to do it. And then obviously you can set up a location set and say, give me all the California cities that are 30-mile radius. Okay, and we can view the locations over here. So those are all the locations that will appear when we create location sets. Over here we can do our SEO, and we can drop in all our spin tags and shortcodes. So I can grab that there, and I can start sticking it in here. Do the canonical, and I'm just going to update that for now, and we can see what happens. Okay. So now that you know you've got this ability, what you want to do is you want to plan out your content template. So over here, you got your content block. You want to persuade the person to go through this process, and you want to highlight what's the most important things for the silo on this index of this magic page. In the Network Empires members area, we do a Power 1 Hour webinar. I've gone into quite a lot of detail about this, but I'm not going to do it now again. Ours is just duplication. So if you'd like to see that, you're welcome to go to the members area and watch that specific webinar where we just focused on the content, utilizing this. But I'm just going to show you quickly what we got. So we've got the X fields we can do, we've got the spin text we can build, and we can create different types of random shortcodes, overlays, and we can build new shortcodes which use conditional logic. It's the conditional logic you want to use in your template over here to address the audience and to present the different products for that specific town. So that can be a list of your companies or your clients. It could be something that you include as an iframe. It could be a video. It could be anything. It could be a different call to action for that area. You've got total freedom to do this, which makes it really great, because now you can sell any product, any service. You can generate leads. You can do anything with this tool. So it's a great tool to plug in. And number two, it's one template you have to update rather than 25, 35 pages or 100 pages or 1,000 pages. You come in here and you focus on one particular audience in specific locations and you give them their pitch. So here you can see I've got basically the H1 built out. Here we're using one of the X fields. Yeah, we've got our H2s that we got from DMT that we've built out. Over here, we've got our list of issues that we discovered. Yeah, we can start generating leads. The way we generate leads is if we use this form and we haven't got a lead system yet, we can simply just take this and inside the action after submit, if you say collect submissions, in Elementor, you'll see a little, I'll just show you, a section that they put aside now that captures all these in the actual WordPress database. So if we come to Elementor, we see submissions. There you can see I've just done one post. Now obviously I'll add the name and the phone number and the email, but essentially they grabbed Debt Settlement and they're from California. That's the location. So that's how easy it is for us to start off generating leads if we haven't got anything else in place yet. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the magic page. I'm going to click Edit Elementor, and while it's opening, we come and have a look at this in a nicer view. So here's the website. We applied a theme to the side. We can now chop and change any of the pages. So there's the home page. There's our silo page for our magic page. And there we can go, how to get an excellent attorney in California City. Welcome to the best legal directory brand. So that's our shortcode over there. Featuring detailed profiles of lawyers across the, and this can be another shortcode. How to find the best lawyer, especially the listing. So yeah, they can choose what they want to help with, where they're from, boom. They can fire that off to you. Now this can be your lead simplifier form that you stick in here, or it could be anything else that you can use with Elementor. So if we just jump back here, come back into the dashboard, and then we jump back into Elementor integrations under settings. There's many integrations. So we can add recaptures, Facebook, MailChimp, Drip, ActiveCampaign. That's what we use. Get Response, Conversion Kit, MailerLite. We use ActiveCampaign as a CRM for Network Empire. And obviously you get your fonts. So you just plug that in and then you can send it straight into your CRM, and then your CRM can activate an email auto response for the actual user. So it's very, very cool. And you can see how we got the conditional in here. Now obviously we're not in the location, so it found nothing. So we can put out a generic call to action. And then obviously, yeah, we can see the cities that are shown as the closest to where we're at, California. Now, this is where conditional comes in. It's because you're going to start showing the content that you want. And I've covered this in detail, how we go about doing this in one of the Power 1 Hour workshops. But because I've taken so much time, what I wanted to show you mainly today was how we go from Digital Marketer's Toolbox, where we started off with an idea. We decided we're going to try and build a law directory or a law service. We created our domain. We did our keyword research. We found that FindLaw is a market leader. We added FindLaw. We came down to website architecture. We generated our site. We deleted the pages that we thought weren't relevant. And our content architecture. We analyzed the web and we started working on our FindLawyer template. And what you would have noticed is I'm at this stage already, literally within the first hour. I'm already focusing on pages on my site, and I'm spending my time really crafting a great headline, really crafting a great description. These then are done at the national level, and when we go to deploy our sites, we push out this blueprint framework. That's why we call it the SEO stackable framework. We import into WordPress. We did that using the video silo building, silo importer. We pulled our XML in. This went and created all the pages for the entire site. So there's all our pages, 47 all sitting there. There's 57 in total. It created all our categories automatically for us. Did all that. And if there were any posts that we had mapped out, it would have stuck them in over there as well for us. So we got nothing at this point in time. We came along to Magic Page, we set that up. Gave it a name, enabled the SEO, did the basic settings, we minified, we chose our locations to start off with. We then came and started working on our content template. And all we did was, when we imported everything over here from DMT, notice that we're using a lot of shortcodes and ideas. We didn't put in tons of articles taking up space. Okay. What they did was, when it came back, sorry, let me get into the Magic Page. We copied and pasted the template in to our Magic Page, and we started using Page Rewriter to, okay, let's cancel that, select that, sorry, I went the wrong way around, to flesh this out. We started working on this, grabbing headlines, grabbing bits of information, making it our own. So this is really cool. Can you see how fast? Within like 2.5 hours, we have the framework of this website built. There's nothing stopping us handing it over to someone on Fiverr that can go and actually write the content or go make the site look real pretty, put the media in, and we can have multiple people work in this framework, but we set the basic tone. Okay, so this is what I love about Digital Marketers Toolbox. This is what I like about Magic Page. It makes my life easier. So instead of having 1,000 pages I've got to update and go and look at each one, I come to my master template, I edit it, and with Elementor we can apply any skin, we can insert any box, and we built our customers a really great billboard that presents them all the information, answers all their questions, and gives them exactly what they need. And within 2 hours, we are looking at a website that's all good and well. So the last thing I do is, once this template is built and I've got all my conditional elements embedded in, all my videos, all the content, I've answered all the questions relevant to cities and stuff. We've done all the tokenization. So if we refresh again, this headline should change. All we're doing the whole time is we're coming to DMT and we're harvesting and mining and looking for where the traffic is, and we're interjecting that into our templates. However, we're not making it spinnable in the sense that we're just tumbling everything and throwing it out there. We're actually crafting the narrative specifically for our audience to show them why our product is really, really good. Because remember, it's always about the audience, it's about the person that's buying the stuff, the person that needs the help. That's who we help. If we help them, we help ourselves by default. So I spend my time in this stage developing and building. So what's nice is with Digital Marketers Toolbox, there's other tools that other guys have created it as well. And I'm just going to come down here and highlight these. We've got the Magic Page Toolbox. And what they've done there is they've created a whole bunch of great stuff. Keith's done a great job of making these little tools that create little snippets you can copy and paste and stick it into your templates. And then we also got Magic Page from Daryl that you fill in a form and it goes and builds the whole template for you, which you then can go and enhance. So if we look at Magic MPP Toolbox, you can generate your fields here, click a button, copy and paste, and just import the text file straight into Magic Toolbox, and all those X fields are generated. And this works the same. I'm not going to go explain each field. Keith's done a great job, and there's all the videos showing you guys exactly how to use this. I just wanted to show you what's inside the toolbox. And this works specifically for Magic Page as well. It's a great tool. We then got Mass Page, and Daryl's got a whole bunch of things that he's done as well. And I'm going to show you a form I've filled in, which we can then save, export out, and import in, and it advances our build time. Okay, we don't have to manually go and create them. So basically, Mass Page is a tool set that helps you build evergreen style Mass Page sites. You can use them for link building, lead generation, AdSense, affiliate offers, up to you. They're built for the Magic Page plugin, and essentially it helps you get to the endpoint fast. So if you think about how we're building, we're stacking things. We're taking DMT and we're analyzing the market, doing our market analysis. Within DMT, we're creating a blueprint framework. It's a blueprint for that market from a national or international level. We're then exporting this out, putting it into WordPress. From WordPress, we generated our entire site. We then can go to Mass Page, Magic Page, or any of these tools, and we can start creating all our elements that we inject into the page. And that helps us work very efficiently and very, very fast. So obviously, when you go through your work desk, you're going to see I've added all this stuff here for you, what's on his side. It's really great. Daryl's a great guy. Chat to them. If you've got any questions, hit them up. I'm going to put the little contact details for when you get to the website, you'll be able to speak to them directly. And they can answer your questions, but they're great tools. So if you notice here, I've got MPP open, and I'm working with this, okay? And I've got mass page open, and you can see over here, I've come along and I've started creating a template that I'm going to export out. I put in a company name, it went and fetched all that information from the web, okay? To verify it's right, we just use this as an example to show you how to fill out this form. There we got their website. We filled in whatever the price range was. We added fake images. I just did this to fill this form to show you what it does. From DMT, we've found what the intent keywords are in the market through our global reports. So what I do is, when I'm working here in a global, I can look at the domain or I can look at the keyword theme intent. So if we went to the domain intent, we analyze this, we can see the words that people use. Okay, and once we understand how they use their language, we can go and dig deeper into the grid. And once we find what we want, we can take that and either stick it into any of the tools. So over here, I just pushed in my keywords that have intent that I've discovered. I put my headlines, remember DMT. I'm going back to my content architecture, to my silo. I'm opening up my magic page silo. And there's my H tags there. I've taken it and I've just stuck them in there by myself. I've then used the shortcodes that we get, and then you can see over here how we just making use of content blocks. Now we can save this. Okay, there you can see we've got our, sorry, I got that in twice. Let's preview that, let that go. We can't preview that for now. But in any case, you guys can see over here, and you can add multiple testimonials, multiple blocks of content. Okay, so if I click this, I'll add another block. So we can add content blocks, build these, save these, and then we can bring them into our actual template over here when we do it. Daryl's done great videos. I'm not going to repurpose what he's done. But this is how we use Digital Marketers Toolbox. And the reason why I've done this video mainly is I really believe that if you take action every day, one step, just do one step. That's why with Power 1 Hour, we just, for 1 hour, we're powering. What can we do that's efficient? And we just go one step, one step, one step, one step. And we use our SEO stackable framework that gives us our 12 steps that we can follow. This iterative process helps us build our websites rapidly, and these websites are targeted for the audience we're after. We understand the market. It's not like we're walking blind. We understand how it works. We're seeing what's working, right? And what this does is it gives you power to create a new kind of venture, okay? If this was 10 years ago, it would be so hard for people to get their business online, but it's so easy today. We've proven in Network Empire, we often build live businesses, and then we show people the case studies and the results. And we set up a test the other day for another company, and they're kind enough to share the results. We didn't give away the domains, but what it did show us, with the method that we applied, utilizing Magic Page as part of one of the components in this, within, I think it was 3 days, we got our first phone call that came in for that business. So what this means is, for any person who's skilled, who's got a job, who can do things, there's nothing stopping you just using Google My Business to get started. There's nothing stopping you doing what we're doing if you know how to build a website and using Magic Page. Digital Marketers Toolbox gives you the edge, gives you the language. It cuts a lot of your time. What usually takes like 80 hours in the professional game, we're doing it in an hour. We're saving 80 hours or more, even more. And if you look at that over a year, by taking action one step at a time, you achieve your goal. So if you look at where we're at already, in this time I spent with you today showing you, I've already built out a page that potentially can generate, I think it was 2,000, 3,000 pages for those areas we targeted. Now, obviously, we'll go in now and we'll start making decisions, smart decisions. Are we going to go focusing on Austin? Or are we going to focus in on Las Vegas? This is where the people get drunk. If it's a DUI website, I'm going to really put a lot of attention over here. In my keyword research, am I going to go draw drunk driving in Austin? No. I'm just going to go drunk driving because I want the whole nation. I want all the language they use. But when we come to building our content templates, this is where we use tokenization to put in the localization that we need, the geographical relevance. All right, guys. So I want to encourage you, don't overthink things. This is the biggest problem in the 10 years that we've been working at Network Empire. One of the things in a lot of trainings, a lot of companies, is a lot of people overthink things because they have a fear of technology. What we're showing you today is you don't have to overfear it. Rather focus on the narrative and you'll be able to build what you need. Okay, so what did we use? I use Digital Marketer's Toolbox. That's where I do my digital marketing blueprint. This gives me my framework for a market. And then I can decide, do I have to pay to enter the market through PPC or display ads or retargeting? Can I rank? Does the market want videos? Do they want images? Where are they at? DMT helps us find it out by looking at what the main traffic keywords are and then looking at who dominates the space and how they communicate with the audience. Once we find them and we jump into their social profiles, we can see who the audience is and how they speak and what they're doing. So DMT is almost like the nucleus. It sits at the center of everything that we do. And then all we're doing is we're taking components like Magic Page, like Page Writer, like Lead Simplify, and we are plugging these into our core. You can see we plug them in and they bring certain types of traffic back to us. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this training session. I put a lot of thought into this. And I just want to say, fortune favors the brave. If you guys need to work, don't wait for someone to employ you. Take your skill and put it online. If you get a job, that's awesome. You can always say, I'm currently employed. I'm not taking any more work on. But if you're not, you can start getting leads very, very soon. And this shows you the visibility using this method I've shown you today, the Network Empire Stackable Hybrid method where we use Magic Page and Lead Simplify. We launched the site in May. It took off 141 phone calls over this period of time. So go for it. You guys are the architects. We've shown you guys over here how to do it, what we've done in this training session. And I just want to encourage you. Don't be scared. Don't let fear take you and control you. Take one step at a time. Be focused on what you want to do. Put it out there. Speak to your audience. And in this training, we showed you what we could achieve in 3 hours. Imagine what you could do in 3 months of refining and working on your business. So my name is Matt Cruz from Network Empire. I'm an avid fan of Magic Page. I think it's a great tool, a great plugin, and I think it deserved the 2-hour or 3-hour training that I've given for you guys. I hope you guys take what I'm showing you today as a starting point and apply it. Build your own business. Get the phone ringing. Get those jobs doing. It doesn't matter if you cut grass, whether you write letters, whether you're a lawyer. It doesn't matter. The plugin helps you focus in on a zone that you want to work in on. And obviously, some markets are more competitive than others. But you know what? 3 hours of focus is better than 3 weeks sitting playing Xbox. Just saying. So, guys, I hope you all have an excellent time. I wish you the best. I wish you success in your future. And my name is Matt Cruz from Network Empire. Feel free to hop across and check us out. But I love Magic Page. I love the tools that Keith and Mark have created. Great job. I love Daryl's work. Actually, all the tools that we use in this community is really, really good and efficient. So, guys, take this, use it, print out this book, write your notes down as you go through this video. Play this video again. You can hop through it, skim through it, and extract those golden nuggets because they will help you in your future if you take action. Matt Cruz signing out. I'll see you guys on the inside. Bye.
possibilities with you now.